Sorry if this was already asked, but when watching the film from Tuesday's game, what are the biggest areas that you want to see adjustments tomorrow night?
I think I said this the other night, but we were definitely in a rush offensively, and a lot of that was because Phoenix played great defense, so they deserve a lot of the credit. But it's a great film for us to have, and it's a great reminder about why execution is so important. When you play against a great defense, they're going to take away some of your pet stuff, and Phoenix did a good job of that. But you have to be able to respond, with a good solid screen, with a hard cut, with a counter to what they're doing. And it's on all of us to make that improvement before tomorrow.
What do you think of how Draymond played on Tuesday? I mean, do you hope?
Sorry?
What do you think of how Draymond played on Tuesday and on tomorrow? Do you hope that there's maybe a little bit more of a offensive aggression with him, especially when Steph is struggling like he did on Tuesday? Get that boost from Draymond.
Yeah, I mean, that was not Draymond's best game, obviously. He would be the first to tell you. And it was not Steph's best game, obviously. It was not our best game. It was not my best coaching job. So anytime you lose it, I think it's great because it forces you to really examine where you can get better as a team, and that includes individually. And so, Draymond was awesome today in the practice, communicating things that we need to do better, things that he needs to do better. Again, Phoenix is a great defensive team, and they took away a lot of our stuff, so we can do better.
Andre, I think.
Andre, and just if there's any other updates.
Damion Lee will play tomorrow. Andre will not play. I think that's all to report.
All right. Christos, do you have a question?
Yes, hello, Coach. You're doing well. What kind of adjustments you need to do on tomorrow's game?
We have to be sharper with our execution at both ends. We got to set better screens. We got to cut harder. Anytime you play against a great defense, you can't get lazy. And I thought we were a little bit lazy with some of our execution, and a little careless at times too. We had all those turnovers. And again, Phoenix caused a lot of that. So when you're playing against a defense that is taking you out of things, you got to be able to respond. And then we can do some things better defensively too. I didn't think it was a bad defensive night. It was okay, not our best, but there's a few things we can tighten up to play a better defensive game as well.
All right, let's go one more for James.
Hey, Coach, I hope you and the guys are well. When you look at the history of Western Conference rivalries and we see what the Warriors are doing and what they're doing down in Phoenix, can you just talk about competition? And every night in the NBA is at a high level, but this can be the makings of a pretty good rivalry, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, being in the same division with Phoenix, they're a natural rival geographically. I don't know that both teams have been great at the same time since the mid-'70s, probably. So it's been a long time, but we know Chris Paul well. He knows us well. The rest of the Phoenix roster is pretty young, and they had to suffer through some tough years before turning the corner. Over the last year and a half or so, and so they're an up-and-coming team, and actually they're already there, being in the finals last year. So it's a great challenge to play against them. A lot of fun.
Were you able to watch the game on Tuesday?
Yes.
What were some of your takeaways from what you saw?
Pretty much same thing that everyone else was saying. It seemed like we were kind of in a rush a little bit, and turning the ball over. I think those were our two biggest, takeaways from the game that hurt us. I'm gonna say take a breath, but just being a little bit more patient on offense. Defense was really good, and we had a chance there, within the last couple minutes of the game, despite all of our turnovers. So, just a matter of taking care of the ball, continue to take great shots, and have confidence in each other. Boom. Bing bong.
Got a Zoom on here, I think. Hey,
Western Conference rivalries. Do you feel like this is a rivalry in the making with the Suns and the Warriors? Two teams in the West battling out like it's always been.
I mean, I feel like it's kind of too early to put, a name on rivalries. We're still trying to continue to find ourselves, and you obviously have to give the Suns credit. They brought back almost their whole team, and they were in the finals last year. So, for us, it's just about continuing to grow and continuing to focus on us and what we can do to be better every game, from here on out.
Looking back to that Phoenix game on Tuesday, what are the big adjustments that you in particular feel that you need to make for Friday?
I mean, as far as myself, I feel like I could have did a better job of screening, being more active on offensive glass, and just setting the tone from the beginning. I feel like we let Aiden get loose a little bit in the beginning. Got a lot of offensive rebounds, and they kind of set the tone with their physicality and their pace. So for myself, I think that I can do a better job in that. And as a team, I think we had a lot of turnovers. I think we was kind of in a rush. You let them, kind of dictate the flow of the game. I think we can do a better job of that.
You've been playing with Steph for a really long time. What did you see them do against him that got him into that rut that he was in on Tuesday?
I think they just sped us up a lot. It took us out of the flow of our offense. They had us starting up our offense near half court. We was rushing things, and I think we was overthinking because their length was a problem for us. Chris Paul was mucking the game up. He was kind of reading our plays and doing things like that. So I think we just got to use our counters. Like I said, I got to set better screens with Steph, get them some more open looks, and we got to be more patient. I think we was all in a rush, and we was all kind of playing one-on-one once we got the ball. So if we started just moving the ball again and getting Steph off the ball, I think good things will happen.
Hey, Kevon, you touched on it a little earlier, but is there anything in particular you guys can do against DeAndre Ayton?
I think you got to be more physical with him. Keep him off the offensive glass. He's seen a couple go in early, and I think he was pretty confident. He's a tough cover. He's a really good player. Chris Paul was getting him in his spot, so I think we just got to be more physical on the ball and with him. Kind of get him off. He's a great roller. We got to from the weak side. We got to tag in, and the takeaway is easy stuff. He's a good player. He's going to make shots, but take all the easy ones, the offensive rebounds, the lobs, and I think it'd be tough for him.
What are the benefits of playing a team back-to-back, especially after a loss, being able to say, okay, these are the adjustments we have to make, and then actually be able to try them out against that exact same group?
It's just a good practice for us. You usually don't get to do that a lot during the regular season. This is a good kind of a test like how the playoffs would be. Play the same team 2 times in a row. It's tough to beat a team twice in a row, and so you got just get a good feel. We get to play a team as good as Phoenix. You get to really test yourself and see how good your execution is. They're gonna know our plays. They're gonna know how we play. So it's just a good test to see where we are, mentally and physically as a team. Get to challenge ourselves and see where we're at.
It is also a good test because you said, you guys did struggle with Phoenix's length a little bit, and as a team that does rely a lot on small ball, is this going to be a good test to see how you can kind of go up against that length again?
Definitely. Phoenix was one of the best teams in the league last year and this year, so when you get to play against a team that went to the finals last year, you get to see what's going to work and what's not. Get to see what adjustments we need to do. And, just to see just where it's just a good benchmark for us. It's early in the season. There's a lot of games left, so it's a good test to see where you're at as a team. We got a lot of new players, and last year we missed the playoffs, so we get to test ourselves against one of the best. So it's a good test for us. Their length, their IQ on the court is elite, so we got our hands cut out for us. They ran at us the last game. It's our turn to try to return the favor.
And then you look over at Phoenix, and they're trying to build something. Do you see the makings of a rivalry for the Western Conference?
It's a little early to start talking about rivalries, but I feel like as a Warrior player, we've been playing versus Chris Paul my whole career here. So I don't know if you could say that's kind of a rivalry, but No, it's kind of early. No, they've been winning last year. The last few years we haven't been playing well, so we're just trying to get focused on where we're at and trying to get back to the playoffs and get back to where we were a few years ago. So, once we finally get there, we'll start talking about that type of stuff.